Welcome back to the channel, guys. Coming to you from Phuket. We made it. I'm sure you can see from the title, our flight was canceled in Bangkok and we had to scramble for a hotel.
Yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure, but we definitely learned something from it, and hopefully we can share the experience with you and it'll be valuable in some way. There is actually a Hyatt Regency attached to the Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok. So what happened to us was we had a 12 o'clock flight, 12 o'clock p.m., and we found out that there was actually an accident in Phuket. One of the planes had come down and the landing gear had actually dug kind of a mini trench into the runway when it landed, so they had to shut it down. At the time, we'd seen something like this in the past, and they had told us they were going to extend the flight by 6 hours, so they were going to check back in at 6 p.m., and I think we knew that that was not going to be the case.
No. I was looking out the window at the plane, and I started noticing they were unloading our luggage. Yep. So I said, hurry up, Tom, let's get in the front of the line so we could be the first to rebook if we need to. And they were really discouraging us for rebooking, but we've already seen this movie, and so we said, no, we'll just go tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll come back and
which they always will. They're gonna tell you that they're not gonna cancel the flight. You just gotta kind of read the tea leaves. And they, you know what, they didn't actually end up canceling the flight. That flight ended up going out at 6 in the morning. So if you'd wanted to wait 18 hours at the airport and potentially sleep over there, you could. We decided we didn't want to do that, and we knew that there was the Hyatt Regency that was attached. So AirAsia was fantastic. We got our bags back to us so quickly.
Immediately. Like, we had our bags within 15 minutes of us telling them we were going to change till tomorrow, and they told us exactly where to go to rebook our flights for tomorrow. Went up there. She got us out of there in 5 minutes. It was super duper easy, very helpful.
Very unlike a similar situation that we had leaving San Diego going to Hawaii, where it's kind of a similar, flight got canceled, and we ended up spending 2 hours just trying to get through rebooking flights and all the other things that come along with that. So big ups to AirAsia. I thought they did a great job.
They did.
Yeah. There's actually a tunnel that connects Suvarnabhumi with the Hyatt Regency that's attached to the airport there, which we took. It's a long haul and it's a little bit creepy. It's not really developed at all. There's like very few things in there.
Underground, low lighting.
Completely underground. And when we look back on how far we actually traveled, we're a little bit astounded. But once you make it all the way through there, pushing your bags, it's an amazing hotel, and the lobby is just very grand. It's very open. It's actually quite beautiful. So when we landed, we decided, hey, let's take a look around. And when we booked, we decided let's pick up the Hyatt Regency's club benefits, which I think were only about $40 or $50 each.
Yeah,
like
we knew we didn't want to leave the hotel for dinner or drinks or whatever. So the club level gives you access to snacks and meals and drinks.
Yeah, and actually I think it was $50 total for both of us.
Yeah,
total. And it included breakfast as well. So it was a good benefit, and it was kind of a day of addition. So you don't always see that same the same deal available when you go to book online. But when we showed up and paid cash, it was there for us, so we took advantage of it, and we were glad that we did.
Yeah, $24 each, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, and purchasing the club was worth it just for the afternoon snacks and the late night kind of half dinner and cocktails that they did, which was really cool and more full service than I think we had really imagined. So the first session that only lasts till about 4:30, 5 o'clock is just snacks. So you can go in there, there's things like chips and pretzels and a bunch of little sweet treats, which we definitely, went through and got what we felt like was needed, but it wasn't the big meal. It's just kind of, if you want a soda or something like that, and you want to relax and do maybe some work in that lounge, it's a good amenity, but definitely not going to fill you up. And then after that, once 5 o'clock hits, they run for 3 hours cocktails as well as basically a full dinner. I mean, they had all kinds of good stuff.
They had tons of delicious dishes. They had mussels. They had some chicken satay.
Yeah, and the mussels were actually deshelled already, and they were in a nice spicy Thai chili sauce. So that was great. And then there was a cheesy fondue chicken dish that you really liked as well.
I got like 3 of those. They're just like little guys, but they were so good, scrumptious.
I think star of the show for me is that they do offer complimentary cocktails, and we were thinking this is going to be, just from our past experience at other hotels, like maybe you get 2 or 3, and that's kind of like on a coupon basis or something like that. But this was not that. This was completely unlimited.
They had cocktails, beer, wine, you name it.
We put it to the test too.
Yeah, I had a couple Cosmos.
Yeah, they did. And they had margaritas, they had Cosmos, they had white and red wine, they had beer on tap. So you had a lot of options.
It was definitely worth the $24 each upgrade.
Yeah, just for that alone.
Yeah. So since we were only there one night, we didn't get a real opportunity to use the gym or the pool, but we went and looked at them and they looked very cool. Would have definitely put them to use if we were there for a few days.
Yeah, the gym was really well outfitted. It even had like one of those like weight scales that you could actually do, I don't know what that's called, like biogenesis or something. That's not right,
I have
but
no idea.
It does an electrical signal and it like tells you your body fat and all that stuff. So that was pretty neat. Saw that. Didn't actually get a chance to use it, but they had a whole room in the back for like doing yoga and things of that nature. And then all the machines. It was very well equipped.
Yeah.
The pool we saw at night, but it was beautiful, and they had a swim up bar too. That I'm sure during the day that they have that thing fully staffed. All right, now we'll get started with the room tours, and there's room plural because we actually had a little bit of an incident with this first one, and as Jen is kind of showing you around the bathroom here, I'll explain. So this was a twin room, which isn't ideal for us, but where we were at in the middle of the day, we're like, we'll take whatever we can get. The reason we ended up moving is because they were doing some kind of construction on the floor right above us, and it wasn't the noise that got to us as much as it was there was this really awful like paint lacquer smell that was coming from whatever they were doing upstairs, and it was actually coming in through the vent. So it was atrocious, and we asked them to move us, and to their credit, they did. So a little bit further along, I'll show you, we're going to have a king suite tour. Very similar, but in a little bit different position in the hotel, and slightly different because of the bed. So you can see kind of the standard closet here, nothing special. The typical kind of hotel safe that they always have. Yeah, so standard twin beds here for this room, and pretty comfortable. I would say maybe they were a little bit firm. The king we had was pretty similar as well, so no big change there, no difference between those two. They got a universal plug, so you can just plug right in there without an adapter. They have the controls for the air conditioning right there as well, along with all the lights. So when you're ready to go to bed at the end of the evening, you don't have to get up to go do that. You can just do it from your bed. Great TV. I think this is probably a 50 or a 55 incher, and I really enjoyed the desk space. We didn't get a chance to use it very much, but it's ample in a way that most places don't provide. So you can get a keyboard and mouse up there. I didn't have it set up, but you can kind of see the space and where it would be. This was on the second floor and kind of had a cool garden view. Hopefully it comes across here, but the room itself, very spacious. The bathroom had plenty of room. The main room had an area for you to work at. Plenty of place to kind of kick back and relax. You do get the mini fridge here, along with some various snacks and sodas and waters and good stuff if you want to purchase that. Not a ton of storage, I would say, compared to maybe other places that we've stayed, but overall, more than ample if you're going to be staying just a few nights. I wouldn't want to be at the hotel here in Bangkok for a longer stay than that, just because you're so far away from the city center. I think this is a great landing spot in a situation like we were in, or if you're in a situation where maybe you want to be close to the airport because you have an early morning flight, that'd be a good way too. All right, now we're going into the king suite, and I'll give you a little bit of background on the bathroom because I know it's kind of skipping over that on the first one, but this tub was awesome. I actually got a chance to use this. It was very deep, and the water on demand, hot, and just ran forever. So love that. Bathroom well appointed. Body wash, conditioner, shampoo. They got all the toothbrush and toothpaste things you may need if you forgot those, and it smelled great too. There wasn't any kind of like cleaner smell or anything like that, which was nice coming after what we just went through with the last room. And yeah, pretty similar, I would say. They were almost carbon copies of each other except for the beds. And the king bed here, very spacious. I think this maybe even been an Eastern king, but it seemed like it was a little bit wider than just a single. And a little sitting area, and then this very same desk, which again, I did get a chance to use this a little bit later on, and it was more than what we needed. But I love that. I love when you have a dedicated desk space that you can sit down and get some work done in. Pretty much the exact same TV and set up with a mini bar here. I do like that they have the wood bench thing that you have for your luggage, so you can sit that down. And we didn't get a chance to try the coffee because we had the club benefit, and Jen was able to get coffee for breakfast. So I don't know how it looks. The machine looks pretty nice, though, so I'm guessing it's pretty decent. She did take a second to look at the in-room menu for breakfasts and dinners, and there was quite a bit here. I was actually kind of surprised. They have a number of different restaurants, and you can order room service, I think all the way up to like 2 a.m., something like that. So yeah, continental breakfast. Everything was a little bit expensive, but I think that you could kind of anticipate that being this close to the airport and also staying at a Hyatt. But yeah, tons of options. You got the soups, avocado toasts, pizzas, pastas, all kinds of cheeseburgers, things like that. All fairly reasonably priced. I mean, if you're $9 to $15 here or in that range for a lot of this stuff is not too bad. I'm not going to balk at that. This was kind of nice too. They actually allowed you to order drinks up to the room, which is not always the case, and they had quite the full selection. So you had beer, champagne, cocktails, all that stuff. This is where we really saw the value in the club, because not only were we able to get dinner there and even breakfast the next morning, which we didn't take advantage of, but you could have, but you're looking at $9 just for a beer here, and a little bit more than that if you're going to be doing a cocktail like a Cosmopolitan. So between Jen and I having a couple of each, we felt like that almost covered the bill for the extra club cost right there. So yeah, champagne, pretty much anything you're looking for. White, red wine, 12 to 16 bucks, fairly straightforward. It's not a, it's not a crazy price, but it's definitely not cheap. All right, we'll finish up the tour with a view of the Suvarnabhumi Airport. The basement tunnel runs exactly the direction that you're looking. So great hotel, we really enjoyed it, and if you ever find yourself in an emergency with to cancel the flight, this is a great option for you.
Luckily, we ended up booking this flight with our Chase Sapphire card, which does provide a trip cancellation or trip delay benefit up to $500 per person. And we did submit a claim, and we are expecting to get back the full amount that we spent. I think it was just under $300 for the hotel stay, and then we did get breakfast at the airport the next morning that we paid for as well.
Yeah, and that's we always talk about that with the credit cards. It's kind of a hidden benefit, but that's real cash. It's not just wrapped up into a credit or anything like that. And if we had to go out of pocket on that, it's really unfortunate because the hotel that we were supposed to be staying at here in Koran was on points.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and got any value out of it, please like and subscribe to our channel. And we hope to see you again in the next one.
Bye, guys.